Okay, so my name is Wajahid Chima, and this is question number 2 from homework number 4. So we're given y equals g of x, and we're given these intervals. It equals 1 for x less than 0, 0 for 0 is less than or equal to x, which is less than 1, negative x for 1 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 2, and negative 2 for x greater than 2. So the first thing we're supposed to do is draw y equals g of x correctly, and then following we're supposed to find and draw big f of y and small f of y in terms of f of x, big f of x, and small f of x. So let's draw y equals g of x, which will be this right here. It should follow these certain interval principles. So as we can see right here, for x less than 0 it's negative 1, so you see right there. For 0, it's 0 is less than or equal to x less than 1. For it's 0. Negative x, you see a little slope right here, 1 less from 1 to 2, and it's negative 2 after 2, so it continues on. So first thing we're going to do is, using the fundamental theorem, we can see fy of y equals f of x g prime x, and since x is equal to negative y, we can write this as f of x negative y g prime of x. The derivative of x will be negative 1. Absolute value of negative 1 is just 1, so this right here will just be f of x negative y, and we can see big f of y is equal to 1 for y greater than or equal to 1. As you can see right here, over here y will be 1, so just 1 greater than or equal to 1, and 0 after negative 2, so there's no values after negative 2, it's just 0. Alright, so following that, these are all impulses. We can see that fy of y, and these impulses follow these intervals, and I'm going to show you the calculations for them right now. So when y equals negative 2, f of x greater than 2 equals 1 minus f of x less than or equal to 2, which we can just write at 1 minus big f of x is 2. Y equals 0 from 0 to 1, so this will be the interval right here, from 0 to 1, f of x, which equals big f of x, x from 0 to 1, which we can just write as f of x 1 minus f of x 0, when y equals 1, which is just right here. Y equals 1, it goes from 0 to negative infinity f of x, which is just f of x 0. And now you can see how we got these intervals with the impulse responses right here, 1 minus f of x 2, impulse with y shifted by 2, and this will be what the graph will look like right here. So these are impulses, these are just areas right here, these are just impulses right there. And let's get big f of y, which equals 1 when y is greater than or equal to 1, f of xy when y is between negative 2 and negative 1, and 0 when y is less than 2. It equals 1 when y is greater than or equal to 1, because the probability mass function cannot be bigger than 1. It has to be within 1. So it's going to equal 1, and then right here, this will be what the graph of that will look like. Negative 2, from negative 2 to negative 1, you see a little bit of a slope, then you hit another impulse, goes here, at 0 it hits another impulse, moves up, and another impulse, moves up, and from 1 it's just 1 from there. And this will be the graph for f of y, and this will be the graph right here. So these two graphs are done, and thank you for watching.